Welcome to my channel, I'm A.S.Drake and this is an additional video to my last video with the title Blinded Community and Toxic. It's not about the entire video, but about a statement I made in the video. Here again, briefly the point it was about. As a viewer described under an older video how it annoys him that other players in Star Citizen with a bigger ship push off or crush his ships on the landing platform and make use of a game mechanic that should protect others from them. Now, I'm not a fan of shots players myself, and I referred to these as roles and compared them to cheaters. So I ended up with both types of players classified as one and the same type of player. That led to an interesting discussion with a viewer of my English video, who pointed out to me that a cheater and someone who uses a game mechanic in a creative way would not be the same. I should be careful, since such a statement would project an opinion and would be toxic in itself. It should please go in me and reconsider my statement. And now I'm here. I want to talk about cheaters and players who creatively use game mechanics separately. They compose and compare both completely neutral and find a statement for me. Please help me if I'm wrong or get lost. Let's start with a player who uses cheats to a computer game through existing scripts or through external programs to influence in a way that does not correspond to the normal course of the game. This means using resources in infinity quantities, God mode and so on. What is not automatically wrong, since games always include this mechanic. That has to do with the development, because programming needs this mechanics to develop a game. The survival games even make it mostly available to the players, such as 7 Days to Die, Ark or Conan Exiles. It's called the creative mode. And let's be honest, if you use it in a single player game, it won't cause any damage, except that you deny yourself the actual gaming experience. For the online games, it looks a little bit different. The publisher should try to block such mechanics, so that no player has to experience a negative experience like getting shot through a wall hack, or shoot someone who doesn't die, God mode, or the opponent lands a headshot in an absurd way, aimbot. Just to name 3 of the most popular cheats. What would it mean for an online game? For example, a cheater hits 10 players in a game of Call of Duty Warzone with these 3 cheats. These types of cheats are of course noticeable. Rarely that they go unnoticed, lead to the end of the round on the following final result. The cheater celebrates a perfect round. Hooray, hooray, I'm the best! The 10 players who fell victim to him think to themselves, what a fucking round and stupid cheater. Nobody thinks, what a skill. Good gamer, good match, respect. What is reflected in the chat and in the discussion in the forum. Unfortunately, this also means that good players fall under general suspicion only because they have a good run. Okay, here I dare to say I hate cheaters. And I think some will agree with me. Now we come to the players who are creative making use of game mechanics, what is not easy, because creativity can be very far-reaching. I want to make it clear first, that I like creative players who lays a good ambush or is really good at moving into fire positioning, without that he is spotted. These players get respected by me, even if I kept one loose after another. It is not for nothing said that challenges are there to be accepted. If players can find the best routes or missions in the game to achieve the best possible profits, as well as the most effective way to use game mechanics, I find that creative. But there also are limits. Let's just start. If someone runs a PvP server from Ark or Conan Exiles, he has access to the creative mode. He plays with 10 other players on the server, and use the creative mode to deactivate hunger, thirst, spawns resources instead of farming, activate God mode and celebrate himself as the king of the server. I don't think that other 10 players will call him creative. The chat get toxic, players are banned, and the forum are also not community friendly in the discussion. This is the abuse of game mechanics. The admin does not shine with skill, is not respected, no one will say fair good gamer. I'm not a fan of such admins, because an admin should be fair against all players, if he doesn't want to be alone on his server soon. What about players who find a glitch, and use it to glitch into a wall, stairway or glitch out of the map, and can shoot everyone but cannot be shot at themselves? I think here we agree that it is the same as a passive god mode. And in the end we come to the same conclusion, like the classic cheater at the beginning of the video, what the 10 players think of him. When such a game ends, nobody will consider him a good creative gamer. Now we come to Star Citizen and the problem of that player, where I would like to add another situation. Let's first explain the location. It is about the space station Port Olisar, which was also the first space station introduced in Star Citizen and serves as a test platform, and until recently was the only starting position in the game for beginners. The station does not have a hangar, only open platforms, and you have to call your ships in the station so that it spawned outside. It takes a while to get outside through the airlocks and to reach your ship. So the development team thought that nobody get trolled and their ship is not repeatedly destroyed. They protect it with a gun-free zone, the so-called green zone, around the station, which is big enough that the gun range of the ships are no danger of the ships that are landed or take off. The basic idea was good, but there are a few creative players who have now come with two ideas. The first is that they push or crush smaller ships off the platform with larger ships. The second idea is, if they have a crime state, they fly with smaller ships close to the landing platform and so low that the guns of the stations keep firing at them, but they cannot hit them, because the guns of the positioning and the angle. Unfortunately, every ship that spawned on the platform is hit, and since the ship systems and shields are not up, they get destroyed. This is where the creative players benefit from the green zone and cannot be shot by other players. The development team have meanwhile changed the green zone into a reduced one, and now you can approach the creative players. In addition, also the positions of the turrets has been revised. But let's not go into much details here. Let's us stay with the creative players. The only thing these players achieve is that the ships of others are destroyed. They will not receive any points for it, no experience and no credit. That means it's just about preventing others from having fun in the game. Now let's say 10 players fall victim to them. What will they think in the end? I think the 10 players won't say, what a good gaming experience. They won't call the gameplay creative either. They think, what the shit is this? And far worse about the creative player. In the end, they abuse each other in their chat. This becomes toxic and move over in the forum. So now, what should I conclude at the end of this video? An online cheater that destroys the fun of others by using cheats is something different as a so-called creative player, who has nothing to do but troll other players for hours. In the end, both types of players only produce angry players, which cause the chat to be flamed until it is toxic and it's carried over to forums. What nothing else means that there are two different ways, but in the end we have the same result. And nobody can say it is something else, because both types of players are aware of it. Here's my question: why do these people log out of the game when I drop by with my ship and get creative, push them out of the way? I'm interested in it how the streamers see it in terms of stream sniper. Are these creative players or cheaters in their eyes? Or does it not make any difference? If there are any streamers among you, I would be curious to hear from you guys. Stay fair and clean in the comments. Otherwise, see you the next time. Your A.S.Drake.